Hello YouTubers, this is Nicole is the New Black again. So there's been a bit of feedback that I've received since posting that video of me in my underwear. Most of it's been positive. My mom hasn't disowned me, probably because she hasn't seen it yet, because my brother didn't rat me out. But then the third type of feedback slash criticism is, Nicole, if you were going to be in your underwear, why weren't you in the corset that you made? And we just thought probably you didn't, model the corset because you were being modest, but obviously you had your ass out on YouTube, so you should really show us the corset that you made. So what I'm going to try and do is model the corset for you. I'll try and explain it when I'm actually modeling the corset, that this corset is too big for me and it doesn't do the optimal job that a corset that fits correctly should do. It's common mistakes that you make. But you can't see me in it. But this is my baby. This is just one side of it. This is it open. And what I'm going to do is try this on for you guys and show you all of the flaws in the corset. So stay tuned. Okay, so this is the corset. And believe it or not, it is too big. Here's why. For one thing, this is too tall, too long. Or it's too long and the bones are too short. It collapses under the weight of my boobs, as you can see. Of course, it's supposed to be close to the body, actually push your girls up, and this isn't happening. Also, there's a slight gaping at the top. As you can see, I could get a hook and eye to do that, but my craftsmanship as a sewer really isn't that precise, so my biased cut binding, which I really like the contrast between like the matte fabric and the shiny fabric. It's also a problem where, this is just too long at the top, this line here. So what I'll probably do for the next one is kind of bring it to a peak, and do I not have it on you? Bring it to a peak and then just cut it down. Also, yeah, because as you see, the bones are not that long. And that was on the advice of the teacher, but I really think that, her method is not infallible. It's just a guide, and I think next time if I make one, I'm going to get the bust longer. So I'll turn around the side. I really like the shape of it and how high it reaches me on the back. Also, how you know the corset is too big is that the back, it's basically closed in the back, and like I said, I could still go in a lot more. So there's a lot more squish. And as a bigger girls, the fat is more malleable, so gives you more of a squish factor. So my waist could have gone in a lot more. What she did was she used the dimensions, basically the ratios or squish ratios that you would use for an average size person. But bigger women are known to be able to reduce their waist size by a couple more inches more than a woman with a less amount of meat on her bones. I also like how it's in the front. I like this shape, how it stoops and then it kind of sits right above the hip, and then it doesn't give me any type of craziness in my back. It really gives my back a nice shape. So I'm very pleased with that. So the shape of the corset I won't change for next time, but what I'll do is I'll reduce the size of this panel, which I think is the 4th panel, and I'll add a bit more angle to the front panel. As you can see, it's basically straight, and that's not what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to actually go in to give you that hourglass. So I'll make those angles a bit more severe. But overall, I really like it. Like I said, I will make the corset a bit smaller. I'll reduce the size of the fourth panel. I'll increase the angles in the first panel. And then I will also make my bust longer. But yeah, that's me. That's my corset. I made this, believe it or not. And I'm really excited. I really like how it came together. You know, the owls, the lions. My favorite is the bumblebee. I don't know if you can see him. And already, when I redo it, I have to make sure that I'm really firm with some of the tools, because making a corset is very labor intensive. Cutting the bones, fixing the eyes on the back, and some of my eyes have already slipped because I just didn't get them in there. Yeah, see, as you can see, it's kind of droopy, and that's not supposed to happen. So it's actually just supposed to take the boobs and lift them up, and that's because the bones are not long enough to do so. Also, like I said, squish. I could go in a lot more to give me that more. So yeah, that's my corset. I'm very proud of it. There's also gaping at the bottom, which comes from a short busk, and that would be fixed if my busk was a little bit longer. But yeah, I really like it. I actually have a lot of this fabric left over, so I'm thinking of making a bag with it. I'm really proud of the last panel. I did that really, really well. And also, if you saw, see, I think it gives me a nice shape. If you saw up close and personal the bias cut binding, but Nicole, you really should never sew again because it's horrible. Overall, I did really enjoy the course. It taught me that I need to practice my sewing a lot more. And also it taught me that just because you are teaching a class does not mean you're an expert in corsetry, because some of the things that the teacher of the class was telling the students, it just didn't make sense. And I'm like, that's really not advisable. Like, one thing, for example, if you know anything about corsets, you know, she was saying that, oh, you can put 2 different color fabrics on the inside and the outside and then relace it, and then it's it's reversible. And I'm like, well, no. I mean, your bones, the whole idea of a corset is for it to form to the shape of your body. And if the bones are going like this, if you turn it inside out, then you're going to manipulate those bones to go like this, and then it'll never fit you. Some improvements, like I said, that I mentioned before to my own corset, that I'll definitely put into play, you know, just from an engineering standpoint, and, you know, the structure, and like, as long as I know what the purpose of the garment is and I understand the mechanics of it, you know, she provided a guideline, and then I'll tweak and adjust to my liking. As well, you know, she wasn't a full-figured girl. She did have big boobs, but it's still not the same. So yeah, that was my corset. I hope you enjoyed. I really like the course, and I'll definitely be making another one, and I don't know when. You know, I got a sewing machine. We'll just see whenever I have time. This is the way I wear my hair around the house. Or actually, it's the way I wear my hair when I'm in the shower and if I'm like trying to do makeup or whatever. Tonight, I need to wash my hair, and not sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm tempted to try and roller set it, but I'm just really nervous as to how it's going to turn out. But I never really have bad luck with roller sets. I'm just nervous with the time that it's going to take, just because it's so time consuming to not only wash my hair, but to attempt to freaking roller set it. I'm going to be there for a minute, and then I got to wake up and go to work in the morning. So we'll see. We'll see what I do, and I'll let you know. I'm in a wedding in a few months, and just trying to figure out some styles. If anybody has any recommendations, any tutorials out there that I should take a look at. But my hair is very, very dense, and I wanted to do the whole, you know, pin curl thing, but I just have so much hair, and the end of my locks aren't sealed, blah, 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 blah. So who knows what that will look like. But I'll definitely keep you posted. Maybe I'll do a tutorial of a roller set on short, unsealed sister locks. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for tuning in. Leave the comments below, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff.